And welcome back to the definitive guide to Dark Souls.
So, in the last video we'd done the lower Undead Burg, and we'd done the Carper Demon as well. So now the next thing to do is to get our ass to the depths.
Yep, so we're going to grab this item around here because we didn't grab it in our first passing through. If you do think we've missed an item, then just watch the next video or just watch the same video, because we do pick up pretty much everything. We do pick up, not pretty much everything, we pick up everything.
Although it might seem like, oh, we might have missed this here and there, it was hard for us to actually decide what order to do things in. So
yeah, and keeping track is also something else.
Exactly.
It's difficult when you're at that point.
If it looks like we've missed something, it's just because we've intentionally passed it, and we'll get it at another point. So anyway, this video is probably the first, this is us really getting into things now. Like, the first few areas are relatively short, but this is our first long video, and the depths is quite a big area. Now, as you can see here, this is there's
a butcher there.
A butcher there, and right under those boxes there was well, you could see them anyway, but there's like a body there with a soul on it.
So at this point, I believe I'm going to try and do my little jump.
Yeah. Okay.
But I missed the balcony. You can make that. I do believe we do it later on.
We don't.
Do we not manage it?
No, we done it on the test build.
Ah, right. Okay.
So we actually die at this part. One of the few times in the game where we actually do die. It's just out of complete carelessness. We might have been recording quite late. So I mean, I guess this gets us off to a bit of a slow start.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're just trying to show that you can jump down there to that butcher, but really we don't actually recommend it. It's just something that you can do.
If you two-hand a weapon, you're using something like a claymore as Y-hander. If you get the jump right and that you bounce off the balcony, go straight into a plunging attack and you kill the butcher. I guarantee that.
So yeah, we died there. We got fucking blindsided, and this, if in our last video we said that you can get completely fucked up by those flame
the
zombies.
torch hollows.
But yeah, so as you can see, they really can fuck you up.
It's more to the point of, regardless of what your armour is, they will stagger you all the time.
Yeah.
They break an infinite amount of poise. I don't think you can even take a hit with it if you're wearing havels either.
Really?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it still staggers you because it's a naked flame as opposed to a weapon. But yeah, so we've sped this bit up because, running, etc, etc. But there is a bonfire nearby, we just need to get to it. I think at this point we've put the Wolfgreen ring on so we can take another hit before we get staggered.
I think we might have. Yeah, because we're not. I'm pretty sure we've got our. We took the Ring of Fog off because it's not as useful in the depths as it is in other areas.
Yeah, the enemies are grouped so close together, you're going to aggro multiples of them anyway. So the Ring of Fog doesn't benefit you here. And plus, it's the wolf ring will come in handy a lot more than the Ring of Fog if you're being swarmed by multiple enemies.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being able to take that hit and then being able to roll away is a big plus. So. The only thing we can suggest here is just try and bait out these hollows one by one. And
this butcher, once you get so far, the butcher does drop down. You can hit the butcher with a bow and arrow and the butcher will drop down anyway. But it's best to do it this way because they just take the butcher one-on-one. Butchers aren't really difficult. If they do hit you, they hit hard, but they're really slow. So just do what we're doing, use the environment to your advantage, bait a hit and then get a backstab in.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously a little bit harder to get a backstab here than other areas because we're confined, but I mean, see, as you can see, you do a whole bunch of damage for
Butchers are really slow. So you can actually chain backstab the butcher. There's a point where they stand up and you can just backstab them. Then if you walk around to where their head lands, walk around there, you'll get behind them again when they stand up, you can get another backstab in. So 2 backstabs and a 2-handed strike will take out the butcher with your +5 claymore.
Yep. Now, but what I make the point is you definitely want to come down here first. You want to try.
Do not attack these boxes, roll through them. If you hit Laurentius, you lose him as a pyromancer, so just roll through the boxes to break him out. That's a big plus.
And especially considering that we want Laurentius for his pyromancies in this playthrough. He's a very important character.
You want him for the starting phases of it until you get down to Blightttown, which can be instantly. You can go down to Blightttown without talking to Laurentius, but you do want the pyromancy flame anyway from him so that Quailana will show up in Blightttown.
So the useful thing is what he said there, but when we died there we went back to the Firelink Shrine. Now, we just saved Laurentius there, but we're going to homeward bone back to Firelink Shrine, because as we just saved him, he will then be back at the shrine for me.
Yeah, the next time your game goes through a loading screen, all your NPCs go to their next designated area. If it's if the circumstances have been filled out, that they'll go there. So if you homeward bone after freeing Laurentius, you go back to Firelink Shrine and you can go pick up the pyromancy flame from him.
This essentially just meant that we had pyromancies to do the depths with, so it just made it that little bit easier.
At this point, the glove isn't all too useful against bosses and the like, but you can use the glove against, you know, like your torch hollows, stuff like that, because combustion is a very fast pyromancy, and I believe it's one of the first ones we buy because it's great.
I guess that we also want to just get this bit out away and done with just now, because it also means that if we're doing Blightttown the proper way, it means that we can just go straight to Blightttown without then having to backtrack all the way back at the depths.
So what we're doing here as well is putting our achievement up another 2 levels so that we can get a second spell slot, so that when we do upgrade the pyromancy flame, we can put combustion on and retain our heal spell. So now that we can do that, then there's no reason to, we just go ahead, get the flame, get combustion, and then spend the rest of our souls leveling up the pyromancy flame. Now, you don't want to use the pyromancy flame on bosses yet.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you have the pyromancy, then you're still going to do that extra bit of damage.
Yeah, it's just more to the point of when you're using your sword, if you put some sort of pine resin on it, it's going to be far more effective than the pyromancy.
That's true.
I'm sure
until, of course, your flame gets ascended, and then it just breaks everything.
Yeah. I mean, when you get to like plus 10 flame, then you're going to do a decent amount of damage for where you are in the game. So, now, this particular guide for the depths is very in-depth, excuse the pun. But
yeah, we don't miss a single square inch of the depths.
It's also the way the guide is, just as we're like just at this point where we're just buying some spells and things.
So, fireball and combustion. And then the rest of your souls go into upgrading the flame. You should be able to get it to about plus 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, I think that's where we get plus 3.
Yeah.
So this is good for the now, but just as we're making our way back to Firelink, not Firelink, as we're making our way back to the depths, all we want to remember that this guide is basically intended to show you, give a deeper understanding of the layout of the depths, considering how difficult it is a bit of a maze.
Yeah.
But we spent a whole lot of time just searching about it and finding optimal routes and trying to break it down into different chunks, just to sort of show off the different areas and parts of it, just to generally make it easier for you.
Yeah. So as you can see, still sticking to tradition, whenever we go through that aqueduct, we always kill the rat, because the rat can drop humanity. Even if it only does it once or twice throughout your entire playthrough, it's still 1 or 2 more humanity than you should have had, so it's always nice to just check the rat every now and again.
Especially considering the fact that we need humanity for the Chaos Covenant, so every little helps, really. Yeah. Luckily we get enough humanity both on this build and the test build, but
and I'm just going to jump in here and say that right there is why I love the Claymore. The amount of distance you can leave between yourself and the opponent and you'll still get the hit. Just when that torch hollow leaped, just left just enough distance to hit him with the Claymore.
Yeah, the Claymore is very good. I mean, a lot of people like it for PvP, but I'd say it actually shines best in PvE.
Yeah.
So now, we don't want to go down the stairs to our left.
Just yet.
We want to jump down here and activate the first bonfire in the depths. This means that if we die, we're not going to go all the way back to Firelink Shrine.
We're nearby.
A lot of players miss this door in their first way through, and it means that when you die you need to go all the way back to Firelink Shrine, but just ignore that now, then just keep going on, just get the bonfire straight away. Now, this is what you need, the master key to do this. If you don't have the master key, you won't be able to unlock the bonfire immediately.
Until after you've killed the next butcher, anyway. So run along.
Normally running along.
Yeah, hugging that side of the wall is 9 times out of 10 you'll get there without anything landing on you.
When we come back, it'll show you that working.
Yeah. So don't even bother attacking those sludge. They've got really good physical defenses. If you do want to kill them, then put on some sort of pine resin.
Or pyromancy. If you use your pyromancy, that'll annihilate them. Now, the slimes do drop green titanite, and that is an exceptionally rare drop. Like, I've literally never had it off it, but they do drop it apparently. Yeah,
they do drop it, but there is no reason to farm it right now. You may as well wait until Blightttown, because there are slugs in Blightttown that have got a reasonably high green titanite drop, and when they do drop, they drop 5 at a time.
Yeah, so you're better off doing that.
Yeah, so
you don't even need green titanite at this point, because with the equipment and stuff you have now should be enough.
yeah, I mean, if you're going about this a different route, of course, like if you're doing faith or an intelligence spell or something like that, then of course if you're going for a magic weapon, or magic damage weapon, so magic or faith at this point, because I don't believe enchanted's available to you yet. So if you've got a magic weapon or a divine weapon, then
so a slime will drop down here, so just be careful with that, and then
miss that.
You can use your pyromancy to kill it. So combustion just kills them in one.
Yeah, they're exceptionally weak to fire damage, so
you just pick up that soul packet there, and then we are off to do the proper way, in inverted brackets, commas,
the depths.
The depths. So the proper way essentially takes us from the top, works our way down. Essentially, if that's the way you look at it, it's easier to sort of get your head around the depths. If you look at it going from you're at the top and you sort of just make your way down.
You don't have to fight these two dogs, by the way.
This is something that we discovered, and it just makes your life so much easier. They don't aggro if you just walk along this wall.
Yep.
The dogs are just really irritating because they're in the water, so just do that and then you're fine. Right, so here is if you go down, like when you initially drop down to the butchers, if you go down the stairs, this is where it will take you. Instead of dropping down to the butchers, if you just go down the stairs to the left.
Be careful when you're using pyromancy, because it doesn't stack with the butcher. I just noticed that there, because it didn't stack with my screen. So yeah, this butcher's just as easy. Just take out the dog, you get your combustion for that, 2 combustions, dogs down, and then just have your way with the butcher, because they're pretty easy if you can, as long as you don't get hit. Be careful when they swing the knife that's in their left hand. It's not actually a knife, it's a meat hook. So when they swing the one in their left hand, if you don't get out the way of it, 9 times out of 10 it's going to get you in a grab, and that'll do some serious damage. So jump attack this dog, because it's obviously not paying attention.
That butcher always drops the sack as well.
It's not always that one. You will,
so
because
here we get
two
the large
butchers,
ember.
Yeah, you'll definitely get the sack. Just if you don't get it off the first butcher, it'll always drop off the second one. So you'll always get one.
So that large ember is important to get. So remember to pick that up. Now here we're getting the spider shield in this playthrough. We actually ended up getting 3 of them. Yeah. But remember to get a spider shield. It is pretty handy for Blightttown.
Yeah, the game does equip you pretty well. So I believe we're going to sit up here and we're just going to firebomb the rat.
Yeah, it's just the easiest way to do it. Like the firebombs that you get really don't have that much for use, aside from killing that one boulder knight, which was always a pain.
Yeah.
So
also, people have been down the depths before we have, because you can see there that the giant rat has an axe sticking out of its eye.
Yeah. It's not just a big rat model, it's a completely different model, and you only use it once, which is surprising. Anyway, so yeah, as you can...
There's 3 different rat models that are pretty good enough. 4 different ones actually, because there's the normal size rats, the bigger rats that are in the depths, and then there's that giant rat and the white rats in Ariamis.
Jump down to this is like the first level.
Yeah, if you don't have the master key, that's the key you need to open up the bonfire upstairs. But there is an issue with that, and that you can't get back up there.
So we don't want it. We don't want to go down there just yet. That takes us to the next level, but we want to get the rest of the items. So first of all, we're going to go down here, and now just follow this path exactly, because it means that there's no risk for dropping down these holes. There's a way that you can just go through them, and you don't need to jump over any of the holes, because you can just go around anyway. So just follow this path, as this is really the easiest path to take.
Yeah.
So just kill the rat. They're ridiculously easy. Don't go up that way, because that involves another hole to jump over, and you don't want to fall down to the bottom level of the depths quite yet. No, it's not even the bottom level. It's like the mid level, but it's like back in the mid level. We'll show you when we get to it. Anyway, what we're going here now. This is like the first sort of open area. There's no more items in this particular part, but this is a ledge which looks over into the boss room. Now we need to kill these giant rats. There's a channeler there which is also going to buff them, so they'll do quite a lot of damage to you at this stage of the game. So you want to try and bait out a rat. We've got a bow, and so we bait out the rats using the bow at this point, and then we take the channeler on one-on-one. The channeler will also, if you don't kill the channeler here, he will also buff the boss when you go into it, and
Yeah.
you really don't want that to happen. So this is imperative that you do this.
Not only will he buff the boss, also while you're fighting the boss, he'll soul arrow you from up top, and because he is buffed and the boss is buffed, you'll take a lot of damage.
Yes, it's just not worth it.
The channeler is a key component in making this boss fight quite easy. Also, not summoning any of the NPCs is another way to make this very easy.
Yeah, and we're going to show you how fucking shit the NPCs are.
Yeah, there is no reason to summon them. They actually hinder you because, I believe we mentioned it already, just in case we haven't. When you summon anyone to help you take on a boss, the boss gets more health. The boss does a little bit more damage, it takes a little bit less damage. It's to sort of balance the boss for multiple players versus the one enemy. Fuck knows what's happening here. But yeah, it's more to balance the boss, but when you summon, it even counts for when you summon the NPCs that the game gives you to summon. And this is a boss in particular where if you summon Solaire or Lautrec for it, it gains such a health boost that all they really do is hinder you because they don't have our set of thinking, of course, being pre-programmed, etc, etc, you know, unintelligent AI, whatever you want to call it, but
yeah, they walk in its attacks and things, so effectively they die before they do any amount of damage to it, and then you're just left to deal with this buffed boss yourself. So,
which, if you haven't taken the channeler down, it is now a twice buffed boss.
Yeah, so remember to do this, and remember to don't summon any NPC summons for this. We're going to show you how difficult that is later anyway.
So humanity.
So get the humanity, well, just got humanity there. Remember to use the Caduceus shield or the Crest shield if you have, to take on the channelers, because the magic attack will do lots of damage if you're blocked.
Preferably the Crest shield due to the 100% physical block.
So right there, that was the first large Titanite shard that the game gives you. Is just
you can get another one on a drop from the Baronique Knight, like see the one that we fought in Undead Parish, the big guy with the mace and the giant shield, and
well he can drop them, but that's the first
pickup.
Yeah, the first pickup that isn't a drop. So this is this is sort of showing you that this is kind of the way it was intended to go through the depths. We're going to show you the shortcut like later.
Yeah,
this is
it's a magical shortcut, by the way.
Yeah,
every single part of this. If you want to see the shortcut, you may as well just skip ahead a little if you're not really interested in these items. But the shortcut takes you from the room where we fought the giant rat right to the bottom of the depths. So
yeah, so this is where we said don't bother going up where we killed that rat. So you just want to go around. I mean, you want to kill the channeler anyway, so there's really no point in just jumping over that and taking the risk. I mean, obviously you're good at the game, you can do it whatever, we could do it, but we wanted to show you the proper way, around, just to show you how, to get a grip of the actual layout. So if you see there, the rats that we killed on that gate, outside that gate was where we picked up the sewer chamber key.
Yeah, that's where
the rat room is. So,
and you know, this is another reason why you should come to the depths every now and again. Look how many rats there are bunched up. Rats have the highest humanity drop rate in the game that doesn't include the DLC. So whenever you're running low on humanity, just come to the depths, farm a few rats, and you'll have loads.
To be fair, there is other things that drop humanity.
Yeah, the rats do have the highest drop rate, and I see them as the most convenient based on how many of them there are in such a small area.
So if we're coming up here, and this is us going back towards the bonfire that we got. So as you can see, it is circular. Here we are back at the bonfire. We picked up.
We don't need to go there yet because we've not touched the rest, so we don't need to rest.
So we picked up the great axe. Now this is essentially if we consider where the butchers are to be the top level, this is essentially the entire second level that we've just done.
Yeah.
Now obviously we want to go back down to the next level here, so we're going to go back round the way we came, back up to the rat chamber, and we're going to show you the shortcut. Basically, that will take us back to where we were. Yeah. So so as you can see, it's just circular.
No, that's the wrong way.
Yeah, no, that's the wrong way. So
you want to go to your right, take a left, and then take a right again.
And then
pretty simple.
Yeah, so and that gets rid of any chances of falling into the layer below this.
Yeah. So now we're going to show you the trick. Now, as you can see here, at the end there's going to be this little stream of water is going to fall into a waterfall. Stay on this left side, because if you can see there's a bit of a drop, but if you stay on the left side you end up sliding down the entire ledge without falling to the depths below.
So we come up here and we go to this door, we run up the stairs, and this again takes us back to the bonfire.
Yeah, this door can only be opened from this side, so this just creates the shortcut from the bonfire to the lower layer of the depths. It's a pretty good shortcut, so I think we're going to go rest at the bonfire and go human, because we want to take on Kirk. Yeah. Kirk's first appearance in Dark Souls. Now, Black Knight Kirk, Dark Wraith Kirk, sorry, isn't actually a Dark Wraith. He used to be a Dark Wraith, but I mean, this is sort of to do with Blightttown as well, which we can explain how Kirk ties in with the Chaos Covenant. But basically what it is, Quelaag, the boss in Blightttown, has a sister who, after being warped by the Dark Soul, turned her into a giant spider like Quelaag. But she still kept her kind heart, so when they went to Blightttown, she seen like all the sickness that everyone was going through, because it is just a poisoned area. Everything in it will kill you. So she tried to drain Blightttown of its sickness, and in turn became really, really ill as well. She has been living based on the fact that Quelaag has been killing everyone who enters her domain, and draining the humanity from them and giving it to her sister. So the humanity that Quelaag's given her is what's keeping her alive. Kirk is the Chaos Covenant, which is why you find them in the Chaos Covenant once you've completed his quest line. Turns out Kirk's actually a good guy, even though he looks like a bit of a cunt, and he looks like a villain. He's sort of Ghost Rider-esque with his appearance, where it's just like all black, spiky, that kind of shit. But he's actually a good guy. He's trying to get humanity that he can feed to Quelaag's sister, because they're trying to save Blightttown. Give her enough strength that she can drain the final bits of poison from the inhabitants of Blightttown, and then it can go back to an inhabitable area, or a habitable area.
Anyway, so at this point we were just getting some human NPCs.
Multiplayer summons.
We realised at this point we should actually have shown this boss with not in multiplayer. This is one of the few bosses that we do in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, most people are going to play this game in multiplayer, so I'm sorry for that.
If you've got the multiplayer option available, it's a good thing to have. The only time I hate the multiplayer option is when we're recording a Let's Play and someone invades us.
Yeah. So
yeah.
We're going to go back down to where we were on this lower level.
Yeah.
This is the lowest level of the depths. So this will be like level 3, or basement 3 if you want to see it that way. And this is the last sort of areas where you're getting your items. Now we want to do Black Knight Kirk, because when you do his quest line, hopefully, I mean, it's not guaranteed, but you'll out of the three times that you'll verse him, he may drop his sword and shield, and when you do his quest line, you'll get his armor set, and his armor set is it's not got the best stats, but it's got a really interesting effect, which is really cool for PvP.
Yeah, the armor's effect is that it's covered in spikes, so when you roll into people, you'll do a little bit of damage. But the good thing about that is, if your opponent doesn't have any poise and you roll into them, the armor will stagger them.
Yeah.
So that's where the armor's good, and the armor's got a little bit of poise itself, so you can wear it without having to worry about anyone else, thorning you. But we tend to put on the gauntlets, just because the gauntlets are the lightest part of the set, I think. It's the best weight to defense ratio part of the set.
So to get Kirk to show up, you just go down where we were, and you just wait a little bit, and eventually Kirk will show up there. Yeah,
if he doesn't show up for a while, go back to the bonfire, rest, reload your game, and then go back down, making sure, of course, that you are in human form as opposed to hollow.
So we want to come down here, and this is just a big L shape, so just come down here and then take the L this way. This bit does go back quite a bit, but there isn't that many items here, so this is all the items, so you can be sure. So this bit leads to where all the basilisks are. The basilisks are these frog creatures which spit the fog thing at you. Now the fog will curse you.
Yeah, like you see them like right there, just next to us is that little statue that we're looking at. That's actually someone else in the multiplayer who's been cursed, and that's the pose that their character had taken upon death.
Yeah.
There are at least 10 different curse poses.
Really?
Yep, there are at least 10 of them. So the fog isn't really a big issue, like your curse doesn't build up too quickly, but if these guys gang up on you and several of them start putting a fog down, the fogs stack, so just be careful of that.
Yeah, you really, really don't want to get cursed. It is a big pain in the arse.
Especially at this point in the game. When you get cursed, not only do you die, you come back, but you've only got access to half of your health bar.
Yeah.
To cure a curse, you need to either get a purging stone from the female undead merchant who was at the end of the aqueduct. She sells them for 8,000. Or you go to where you fought the gargoyles and you talk to Oswald of Karim. He sells them for half of that.
And later on in the game,
you unlock someone who will break your curse for nothing.
Yeah. So, again, we fell down that hole here, but if we jump over, I think this is humanity.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you go down the hole, that's where you got the Ring of the Evil Eye. That's a ring that when you kill an enemy, you'll take you'll get a little bit of health back from it. It's really not amazing. I mean, it's okay at this point in the game. You don't have many rings, but
is the issue with it is that it doesn't stack. So if you kill 3 enemies at the same time, you get the same amount of health as what you would if you killed 1. If it's stacked, the ring would be brilliant for PvE, but it doesn't stack, so it's not very helpful.
So that's all the items here. Now we can run back. Now I think the last thing to do is essentially just the boss, really.
Yeah, the boss and speaking to Domhnall of Xena.
But there is, I mean, this video has another quite a while left to go.
Yeah, I believe we show the how useless the boss battle is with the NPCs. And it goes
that
on
must
for
be
about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. I guess we can just talk about a few things.
So yeah, we were wondering where that guy got off to. Turns out he was just hanging around here beating the shit out of stuff while we were away. So
yeah,
we're going to buy some pine resin is what we're going to do.
So here we are, Domhnall of Xena. He's a cool guy.
Very interesting merchant. He'll be your source from the majority of the boss armors in the game. He will sell them after you defeat the boss. So he sells 3 pine resin. You want to pick them up, and you want to pick up a bottomless box as well.
If you don't already have it, you might as well pick up at this point.
You've got 12 grand sit. Well, we've got 12,000 souls sitting there, so you should have around about the same, if not more, depending on how good you can.
And he will also sell his armor set as well.
Yeah.
Now, the boss armors that when you defeat Gwendolyn the Iron Golem, Artorias, Ornstein and Smo, who else's armor does he sell?
That's it.
So for now, that's the armors that we think he sells. The point.
It's the armors that come to mind anyway that he sells.
Yeah.
The point is, after you beat a boss, he will then sell that boss's armor if it's available.
Yeah.
With Ornstein, you can't get Ornstein and Smo's set in the same playthrough. What it is the one that you kill last is the armor piece you'll choose. So if you kill Smo first, you're killing Ornstein last, you'll get Ornstein's armor set, who's the skinny guy with the dragon armor. Or if you kill Ornstein first, you'll get the fat guy's armor last.
So around here is the heavy crossbow. We thought that the crossbows would be useful for coming against Ornstein Smo. We tested this extensively.
They're not as useful.
Despite what Epic Name Bro might have said, they're really not as useful as we really wished they were.
That is one thing I didn't agree with him on, is the fact that, yeah, you know, you could use a crossbow or you could
just do fucking hundreds of damage with a +5 lightning weapon that you should have by that point in the game.
Well, +3/+4 I would say. +3/+4 has been made available to you before Ornstein and Smo, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So now what we want to do, we're just sorting our equipment out at this point.
Yeah.
Now going back to Domhnall of Xena, he will appear outside. He will appear underneath the big bridge which takes you Undead Burg, where you got the Ring of Sacrifice, which we would show you in the first video.
Yeah.
He will appear there. Now every time he's relevant, every time we defeat a boss that he gets an armor for, we'll mention this again, but this is the first point that he comes in the game, and he sells boss armors. After you talk to him there and go back to Firelink, he'll be there under the bridge.
Yeah.
And sells the boss armors.
Yeah, the aqueduct next to where the Ring of Sacrifice is from the first video is where Domhnall sits. So he's a brilliant merchant, but he's a bit of a pain to get to, and that's the Gaping Dragon, which we're going to show you twice.
So now here we've put it back to this is our test build. Now we completed the game twice using the same build.
This build does not have the Ring of Favour and Protection, so this build has more points invested in health and endurance just to keep it level.
Yeah.
But so what we're doing is we're summoning Solaire and we're summoning Lautrec.
Now,
because we've not killed Lautrec yet in this one.
Because we don't have the Ring of Favour and Protection because we didn't kill Lautrec. We wanted to show what happens when you don't kill Lautrec and what he does to the game when you come back.
Yeah.
So basically he'll be here if you don't kill him, and you can summon both Solaire and him. Now they are completely fucking useless for this fight. I mean, if I mean, maybe they've been useful for someone at some point, but we highly doubt it. I almost kill him, but we get clipped by the Gaping Dragon like right at the end for like it does. We were like well out the way, and its leg like just clips me, and then that kills me.
So you'll see what I mean when I said that these guys are bad to summon because they don't have they can't think out the path in the same way we would, where our immediate reaction for the Gaping Dragon is run around to the back of it, because then it takes more time for it to turn before it can get an attack in. You can hit it a few times, get around the back of it all the time. They don't do that, they just run head on into battle and attack it regardless of what stance it's in. So it's another thing with the Gaping Dragon, there's a lot of significant tells for what it's going to do, like right there, when you see it doing that, it's going to slam its face down. If you're caught in that, good luck surviving, but this is the worst part. If he runs into you, it will hit you at least 2 times.
Yeah, not only that, if you're standing behind him and you're touching him as he's moving away doing that attack, he'll still do damage.
So 2-handing the Claymore here with the Pine Resin on it for cutting the tail action.
You want to cut this thing's tail off. It is really easy to get off, and you get the Dragon King Great Axe, which is a really awesome strength weapon. But it's not necessarily a particularly great weapon, but it's a really fun weapon.
The Demon King Great Axe, well, the Dragon King Great Axe, sorry, if you're doing a strength build, will without a doubt get you through Quelaag easily. The thing does, I believe it's 500 damage minimum.
Yeah, is it? There we go. No, it's
300.
It's not that good, but I mean it does have some pretty good stats, but you need a lot of strength to use it. You need 34 or 5 strength to 2-hand it when you're coming against Quelaag. Anyway, that aside, really the Gaping Dragon is much simpler than it seems. As you can see, we are doing like no fucking damage whatsoever to it because it has been buffed incredibly by having 2 NPCs with us.
So put more Pine Resin on.
It is weak to lightning despite the fact that it's really taking no damage. As you can see, the NPCs that we've got have taken so much damage, and your Estus don't heal the
NPCs.
Computer NPCs.
Which is another reason to take multiplayer summons, because you can always save them by healing them.
Exactly.
And if you need healed and they need healed, then it's more beneficial. What I tend to do when I get summoned is that, if I start taking a bit of damage, I'll back off, and then hopefully the host will realise what I'm doing. They'll wait until they take some damage so they're not wasting Estus on one player. So like I usually stay in a fight till I'm at about half of my health, 3/4 of my health is gone. Then I'll start backing off, let the host do some damage, and then when he starts backing off or she starts backing off, they can heal me while they need healed as well.
Yeah, it's always good to have good multiplayer ethics when it comes to Dark Souls, because it just makes things go a bit smoother. If you're going to be a fucking arsehole NPC that can't, not NPC, like Phantom that can't heal themselves and just run head first in and then leave the poor guy that summoned you to like take a buffed boss on himself, and obviously he's going to summon you because he wanted to have an easier time with it, and you're just going to fuck that for him.
So there's Lautrec and Solaire both dead,
like that.
And the boss still has a third of his health. So yeah, we're switching to the Drake Sword just now because we figured that the Drake Sword takes less stamina to 2-hand with. We can get a few more swings in because it's quicker. So damage per second is higher, thus we'll do more damage.
Well, it's because the Claymore unbuffed has less damage than the...
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Although you've cut the tail, be careful. If it still hits you with that little nub, it still does a ton of damage.
Although it's hard for it to hit you with the nub, so that's good. So you just want to kite round this thing like constantly.
Eventually it'll do something like that.
It'll leave a big opening like that. Otherwise you don't want to hit it head first. Like if it drops its head down and do that charge attack, you can hit it in the head for tons of damage.
Yeah, the head is its weakest part. I usually, every time you enter the room, I think every single time it smashes its body down and then charges you. So as soon as you enter the room, put on your Pine Resin and just start running at it. As soon as its head lands, you can get 2 or 3 hits in and then roll to the left or right to get out of the way of it before it starts charging.
That's if you're feeling ballsy.
You will do a lot of damage that way, and that's how I tend to open up every fight with the Gaping Dragon.
The Gaping Dragon is probably the biggest boss mass-wise.
On New Game Plus, I killed the Gaping Dragon instantly. See, as soon as it put its head down, because I didn't use I wasn't using gold pen or anything like that. I was using a lightning +5 as Y-hander.
Yeah.
So as soon as I entered, I just started running. As soon as it dropped its head, I just smashed it 4 times and I killed it. It took that much damage from its head. I was doing over 25% damage. It was mental. Plus it's weak to lightning, and I've got a fucking 2-handed battle axe sword thing. That was lucky.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I managed to dodge that, but you should see the way this thing kills me. I was absolutely raging.
Yeah. It is more or less. It's coming up soon. So this is the issue with taking the Gate and Dragon on yourself. You definitely want summons for it. You just want multiplayer summons.
Yeah.
Because taking the Gate and Dragon on yourself, it's not a difficult fight. It's just time consuming.
Yeah. The way it keeps just jumping up to face you, and then you can't get an actual.
Yeah. And of course, the longer you're in a fight, the more chance you've got to make a mistake.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's how it tends to wear you down as well, which is a bit of a bitch.
Which I think is actually what happened in this. I mean,
no, we got bullshitted in this. We were way away. Like maybe some damage, not all of that damage.
Yeah, that as well actually.
Because I mean, in case you guys haven't noticed, there be some times where you hit a group of enemies, but you're doing more damage to some than others. The angle at which you hit them with your weapon counts in for damage as well, so I don't see why that doesn't apply to the bosses. But you know, so like if you clip someone just on like the beginning or the end of your swing, you will do about maybe 70% damage. But if you get them in the mid, like in the actual peak of your swing, like as the sword or the axe or whatever's coming across you, you'll do the most damage the sword can do.
So at this stage, I've started getting desperate. I'm just like maybe something I have will actually do any form of decent damage to it. I mean, I just wanted it to end quickly. And I guess it did technically, but
yeah, you need to back away a lot from this attack for some reason. It's got a really wide field. What that does, there, yeah.
State of that. Fucking state of that.
Yeah, that attack, that giant puddle, you want to avoid that as much as you can due to the fact that it's acid, it corrodes your weapons. So now we're going to switch back to the dragon fight with multiplayer summons, and you just see the difference instantly as soon as we start.
Yeah, we also, I think we sped up twice as well. Maybe, I think it might be double speed, I'm not sure.
It doesn't look like it either.
No, it's definitely going a bit faster, but
might just be a bit delayed. But yeah, this is much quicker. The same thing, turn your claymore, get the tail. I didn't want to stick around too much when you get a tail.
If you're a host, you really want to play conservatively.
Yeah, your job's to stay alive, because if your phantoms die, the fight isn't over, but if you die, the fight is over.
Not only that, you want to keep your phantoms alive, because to be fair, they're in it because they want the souls, and you're in it. You want them to fucking help you because you want the souls as well.
Your job as the host is to prioritise your Estus between all of your summons. So you need to think like, how much health am I willing to let them drop to before I start healing, or how much health do we as a group need to go to before I start healing?
Yeah.
Because I tend, as I said, when I'm playing. When I am the summon, about 50%, 75% of my health, I'll let that go before I start backing away. As the host, I get to about 50%. Yeah. Because it's more important to conserve more health as the host, because you're the lifeline to the entire fight. But this obviously, look, it just works a lot better when you get multiplayer summons, because they aren't shit most of the time.
It also means that the boss will concentrate on one opponent, and then...
That was lucky.
I know. But the boss will concentrate on one opponent, while the other two summons will be able to wail on it for a bit. So it means that you're not constantly having to run around it.
That's it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really as easy as that when we've got summons. I mean, that was no time at all.
And that is essentially the depths. So I believe what we need to do now is drop off the Ember at Andre.
I'm not actually even sure what else we do in this. So we pick up the standard armor set. It is really that. It is just standard armor.
Yeah, I believe it's the knight set.
I think right now we're looking at things where it looks like they've just cut off bits of the depths because they didn't have enough time to finish it. Like up there, they've just put that big post in.
But there's a doorway on the other side of it as well.
So it looks like they were going to do something with it there. I mean, I think this is the depths, and if you want to continue watching, you can. I think we're just we're just mopping up a few little things here. So we're just going to continue on, and we'll commentate the rest of the video. But this is pretty much it. And if you want to continue on to Blighttown, you can. So I think at this point we're going to level up, and
we've got loads of souls. This is going to take us into the level we want to be for Blighttown.
Yeah, definitely. Now to recap, we wanted to have 20 vitality, 20 endurance for Blighttown.
Yep. So that's us, because look, we're sitting on 37,000, so we can level up. I believe we get an extra achievement slot as well at this point, do we not?
Yeah, I think we did. This allows us to use, obviously, 3 castings. We then have our endurance up to 20 there, and then I think we put our vitality up a bit more as well.
I think our vitality makes it to about 19. Oh, not 20 exactly.
Exactly,
yeah.
So I mean, you can see that if you do things correctly, your stats in the way
can reflect that instantly.
Yeah, definitely.
So like we had exactly enough to get to where we wanted to be precisely for Blighttown.
Yeah.
All we need now, and you know what the great thing is, the rest of those souls, they get spent on leveling up the Claymore.
I don't think we do level up Claymore. I'm actually not sure what we do next.
I'm fairly sure we'll use the Claymore all the way through settings.
Oh! This is because this is the guide build. We're going to head back to Blighttown at this point. We're going to go the easy way on this build. We wanted to show that there's 2 ways of doing Blighttown. There is you can go it the normal way. And get
we're getting back to the entrance, yeah.
Or you can do it the arsehole dick way.
So I believe I'm at the helm here because I think I do this pretty recklessly. I wouldn't advise doing it this way. Like, we're just trying to get back to Firelink Shrine as quick as possible, so you know, just clearing up this bottom part, and then I think like all the torch hollows, I think I just sprint past them all.
Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah, I just fuck it, put the foot down. This dog tends to jump out the way, so it's not really an issue. Like every now and again he jumps down into the water, which is a pain.
So if you're doing Blighttown the normal way, you go through Domin Hall of Zena. So right next to him, when you found in the depths, you.
So I get hit once.
There's like a giant fog gate when you go through there to get to Blighttown.
I get hit once that entire time. That was lucky.
Next, so doing Blighttown, going in through the back way, you need the master key to do it.
Yeah.
And you go down the way. In the first video, we showed you how to get to New Londo in the starting runs and things. That's the way you go again to get to the back entrance of Blighttown.
Yeah. I believe what we do here as well is we're totting up our moss because we want to have 5 purple and I believe 2 or 3 blooming.
You definitely want to take some moss with you, but really if you're using the Ring of Fog, it's almost not necessary.
It's still necessary to take the blooming moss and the purple moss because you can't make it to Quelaag without being poisoned.
True.
There is no route that takes you to Quelaag without you getting poisoned.
Next, going in through the back way of Blighttown it does cut out a lot.
Yeah, it cuts a good half hour out of Blighttown.
Yeah, definitely, and that's a half hour of us experienced doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we do go slow to show you and get all items and stuff.
And we do get invaded on the way back, on the back way through Blighttown. I think it's still quicker.
Yeah.
So killing the rat, because always kill the fucking rat. Still not dropping humanity for us because it was me that was at the controls at this point, so it will never drop humanity.
That's just what happens.
Having some claymore issues. But yeah, so we make it down to Firelight. Yeah, it definitely was me because I remember this going insanely badly.
Yeah.
See that? Pro skill rolling. Pro skills.
He fucking fell down there.
No, I mean like the fact that he was going for a fucking double stab and I managed to roll to avoid the second one. See? It's just all in the rhythm.
We actually recommend going through Blighttown the
proper way,
quote unquote, hard way, because you get a lot of really good items for it.
Yeah, go through Blighttown the douchebag way.
Yeah.
Also, oh no, we're going back to get the thingy ring in this one, are we not?
What ring?
The ring that lets you walk through the swamp.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, we're going back to the Asylum to get the rusted iron ring.
I totally forgot that we'd done that in this video.
Yeah.
So that's why this video would be so long. We only go here to get the ring. We feel that if you're going through Blightttown the proper way, or the not proper, if you're going through Blightttown anyway, you kind of want this. We decided in the actual guide, the going to the Undead Asylum, we've just done that in the optional areas because after you do Anne Orlando, you've got time where you can just do all the optional stuff in the game.
Yeah.
Going back to the Undead Asylum is optional, and that is where you fight the Stray Demon. The Stray Demon is you're nowhere near a high enough level to do it at this point.
If you've got yourself the katana and you've got a couple of gold pine resins left, you can take on the Stray Demon because he is insanely weak to bleeding.
I was so irritating the fact that that happened there.
I know, it happens twice I think. Yeah, I'm fairly sure it happens twice, then I just go fuck it, run and jump and somehow land without having to roll.
Yeah.
Because what ended up happening was that I jumped just enough, I fell just enough to take the tiniest bit of damage so I wouldn't roll. I don't know if that's deliberately there or something, or I just got insanely fucking lucky. Either or.
So yeah, I mean, the rusted iron ring did definitely help for Blightttown. It's not necessarily helped, it just made it go a bit faster because you're not...
Yeah.
It meant that you can run in the swamp, essentially. When you do Blightttown the proper way...
Look at this shit! I took a teeny bit of damage. Look at my health bar.
I know.
Oh, that was perfect. You know, like, see the way that I walked off and I fell off the roof after I grabbed the key? If you actually go into that ledge a little bit higher, you can walk up there and save yourself all that hassle. But now it's just a matter of sitting there and waiting until the crow comes and picks you up.
So we just wait a little bit. It takes us no time at all to get the rusted iron ring. It takes like a second, and then we just homeward one back to the Firelink. But
I think we spend some time with Snuggly as well, do we not?
No, we don't.
Do we not?
No, we don't.
I thought we did.
No, we do that in the proper.
Ah, right, cool. But yeah, with Snuggly, the game gives you exactly enough materials to do everything. It gives you exactly enough materials to get a +5
lightning weapon,
+5 lightning weapon, a +15 standard weapon, a +5 or +10 everything. Snuggly gives you at least one of every type of titanite.
Yeah.
Except slabs. No, in fact, she gives a red slab for an ascended +5 pyroman, an ascended pyromancy flame.
Yeah.
Not +5, just ascended once. Not even ascended +1. It's just goes from pyromancy flame +10. Is it? Or is it +15? Pyromancy flame goes up to. Well,
it goes to. Oh yeah, it goes to +15 then +5.
Yeah. So it's a pyromancy flame that was +15 and then went.
Don't run through the courtyard.
Yeah.
Because that'll drop you down into the Stray Demon. Run around the middle part of it, or else you're just going to get thrown into the boss fight and you get your shit handed to you.
And this is why we opened that door in the first part of the guide. So now we need to take on this fucking guy.
So I mean, obviously he's not too much of an issue, but
he's difficult to backstab. I'll give him that. Like,
and he's quite tanky for being a humanoid.
Well, at this point he is. Like, when you come back to the Asylum, when like at the level that we come back later on in the game, it's 2 backstabs and it's game over.
I think it was like 2 normal hits.
Yeah, probably something like that as well. He's not that tanky. At this point in the game he is like pretty tanky. It's pretty good that we opened that door, by the way, because it saves you a lot of hassle.
Yeah, because
if you didn't open that door, if you didn't open that door, you have to go through Black Knights to get here, which is always bad. So that's us killed Oscar.
We get the crest shield, which is a great shield because it gives us so much, because 80 magic.
And we get hit with a rock. So yeah, that happens too. But yeah, the crest shield, 100% physical block, upgrades using Twinkling Titanite, and has an 85% magic defense reduction on it. How fucking good is that for a shield? So now we're going to go grab the rusted iron ring. Now, in the first video you may have noticed that at the end of here there was a little room which had one hollow in it and a locked door. Well, that key that we grabbed from the rooftop back at Firelink Shrine is the key to that locked door, and that's how you get the rusted ring. So essentially you can come back here right away, but it'd be really difficult to take on Oscar.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you could sneak by him if you were to like crouch walk all the way there.
Can
or
you
just
can't crouch.
no, not crouch walk. Just fucking go at a crouch walk speed, as in you're walking so fucking slowly. You could probably get all the way by.
Probably
him.
with the ring of fog you wouldn't aggro him.
Yeah, maybe actually.
Or at least you'd be able to run out of his aggro range anyway.
Well, he can't see you through the walls, so the slumbering dragon crest ring would do it.
There you go.
Boom.
Okay, so we killed those hollows, which were surprisingly difficult. And then down here is where we get the rusted iron ring. We come back here later in the actual guide to show you. So we should probably mention that we also do at the beginning of this video. We should probably mention that we also do this at the end.
Yeah.
And say why.
So right now, it's back to Firelink Shrine now. We've got the rusted iron ring, and what that does, I believe the ring says that it gives you, it makes you more sure-footed or something like that.
Improves balance on sure foot or something like that. The point is that just basically means that you can run through water without wading.
Yeah, you don't take any movement speed degradation through water or swamps or anything like that when you're wearing the rusted iron ring. It does come in handy, like it can be handy for like the Hydra fight. It's handy for just traversing Blightttown in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's decent. I don't even think we used it.
So we're popping all these soul packets and then I think
because we got tons.
I think what we do at this, but I think we just
Pyro Flame, mate.
That's it, we level up the Pyromancy.
Yep, getting our Pyromancy Flame. Essentially what you want to do is, now that you've got 20 Vitality, 20 Endurance,
as always.
you've got all your basic build stats done, now it's just a case of increasing Vitality and Endurance. Essentially what you should be doing now is putting a lot more points into your Pyromancy than you should be doing your own character.
Yeah.
I mean, you still want to be level 40 by an Orlando, but leave that soul farming until Sense Fortress.
You definitely want to have 26 endurance by the time you've done Blightttown. That way
it's
when
more than doable though, because there's 2 bosses.
Yeah, it's very easily done.
Yeah, there's 2 bosses which give you a combination of about 60,000 souls, possibly more than that.
Anyway, so that's the video over. We hope that was informative, and in the next video we'll be going through Blightttown
both ways.
Well, it's a video for each one. Anyway, thanks, and we hope you enjoyed it.